SCP-368, aka Paper Crane. Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-368 has not yet warranted any need for containment, though it has the movement patterns and behavior common to a normal bird. Neither it nor any of its copies, see addendum, have shown any desire to migrate from the offices in which they are stored. Description: SCP-368 is an inanimate origami crane folded in from ornate heavy stock paper. Left to its own devices, it will perch, preen, fly from platform to platform, groom, and occasionally hook a makeshift nest out of nearby office supplies. It responds to human touch affectionately, as much as a domesticated bird would. The item's demeanor is, on the whole, friendly, and it has been observed to perch on the shoulders of various SCP personnel. Though the item needs no source of nourishment, it appears to sleep at night in that it places its head under its wing. Studying the physical properties of SCP-368 has proven difficult. The item seems to interpret attempts to capture or contain as a game and has displayed considerable agility and resourcefulness in baiting. Even the most focused attempts at containment. How SCP-368 stays airborne and maintains its stability, while airborne, are still not known. History: SCP-368. It was discovered in an office building in redacted Japan in 1900. Secure, now employed as 141158, a former employee at the aforementioned building, found the item in a closet full of office supplies. Upon discovery, SCP-368, Sakura managed to gain its trust in order to move it to a more secure location. Psychological evaluations of Sakura indicated her to be of sufficient mental stability and acuity to warrant a position within the SCP organization. Cross SCP warnings. It is recommended that SCP-368 is to be isolated from SCP-529 and 530, as contact will certainly alarm all three SCPs. Addendum 0-22. On 2000, while housed in Research Sector 15, SCP-368 began displaying unusual behavior. Instead of its normal routine of human interaction, grooming, and play, it began hovering over a photocopier. Serial number redacted, flattening itself whenever SCP personnel approached. A doctor placed SCP-368 into the photocopier and made a copy, upon which another sheet of paper of identical pattern but different hue emerged from the copier and promptly folded itself, mimicking the shape of that of the original. SCP-368 and the new specimen were referred to as SCP-368-A resumed usual behavior. Since then, SCP-368 has displayed similar behavior at intervals varying between 2 and 4 years. While the copies have shown no such behavior, though initially overseer member disallowed any employee from aiding in the reproduction of SCP-368 and Doctor and Doctor and the doctor there was reprimanded for his action. Remarkably, high employee morale at Research Sector 15 had led to the introduction of the prodigy of SCP-368 at further SCP facilities.